Guys, how we doing? This is not your typical weekly fundamental review or anything. It's just a quick video. I'm going to run through this and just have a look at the technical side of things and be like, right, what are we actually looking for? So here we're on AUD CAD. AUD is 10 times stronger than CAD. Look, obviously, you're going to look at it and be like, well, this is the 4-hour chart. Oh, that's quite a strong candle. You have to remember, markets will always move back and forward, but they'll have a predominant direction, right? I.e. bullish or bearish. You can see this is ranged since fucking September 2025 all the way to now, but you have had quite a few buys. Now, when I look at this, I just wanted to show you this, right? Hopefully you can hear me all right. I just wanted to show you this, and I'm going to run through step by step some of the things that goes through my mind when I'm potentially looking to either mark up an area or take a trade, right? So, for example, we can see here, this is a huge area of support, right? It's a massive area of support. We can fucking fix that if we want, blah, blah, blah. But it's a massive area of support, right? Now, some of the things, that's what you can see, right? But sometimes, well, not sometimes, all the time, I look at the screen and I think, well, what can't I see on the screen, right? So to share this with you, because it's a great little golden nugget. I look at this here and I'm like, right, boom, 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 boom. Okay, it's fucking rejecting this zone. Fantastic, which is, it's one of the zones anyway, right, for good value, blah, blah, blah. But what don't you see in here? What don't you see along here? You don't see a liquidity grab, right? So your area of entry is around here, right? Let me finish. Your area of entry is around here. Where's the liquidity? Where's everyone? Everyone that's entering here, where's their stop losses? Their stop losses are all around about this fucking area here, right? You're going to get some people like me who have massive fucking stop losses, put it down here, blah, blah, blah. But predominantly, we're talking about, where's all the fucking dumb retailers putting their fucking stop losses? It's all in this area down here. So with that being said, right, we don't already have a liquidity grab here. We've got a firm, solid area of value, but there's no liquidity grab. There's potentially been a huge amount of liquidity building up here. Why? Because every time it comes down here, somebody else enters it and leaves a stop loss there. Oh, it's come down again. Oh, someone who wasn't previously in the trade now gets in the trade, puts their stop losses there. Someone who wasn't in that gets into it, and someone who was previously in this adds to the position, So there's more and more stop losses building up here. When there's more and more stop losses building up from more and more people adding to the positions, this is just an example, by the way, right? Obviously, it's impossible to know. It's an example. So that's how liquidity gets built up, and as it builds and builds and builds and builds and builds over all this time, boom, oh, it goes again. You might get a little pull up, and then you get a big fuck off all the way down. I'll just show you. You might get this, boom, boom, fuck off, straight back into the zone. Then it will go bang, 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 bang. This is the type of stuff we can see, and you've seen it. How long have you been trading now? You've seen this kind of thing, right? So I just wanted to share that. It's a fantastic little golden nugget when you're looking, especially for, obviously, the longer held positions, i.e. a full day trade, a swing trade that you're going to be holding for quite some time. So that's a good golden nugget, right? What I do is I always look for, where's the area of value? Is it a good base? Is there many rejections there or one rejection? It doesn't matter if there's loads of rejections or just one. I actually prefer it if it's going to be the first rejection, because it will normally come back and then just go fuck off and it'll get straight out of there. I don't normally like it if there is a lot of rejections, but it is a good sign that, it's potentially an area it's going to bounce back from. And then I say, look, do we already have this? Boom, 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 So it's like, yeah, okay. We already have a liquidity grab here, so it's wiped out all the fucking liquidity that was here. So you may not have, this was in when? Fucking October. So of course, you're going to have liquidity in this stage now, because that was fucking October. However, I'm just trying to give you the example overall, right? If this was a closer time period and these bases were all together, that's what I'm looking for. So I'd be like, right, there's no liquidity grab here. Which means what? Which means there's a fucking ton of liquidity in here. So what are the steps that I can potentially take if I want to take this trade? Because you have to remember, just because I've highlighted that there to you, doesn't mean it's actually going to do that. It could very well just go like this, bish, bash, bosh, and just fuck off, right? It could very well do that. So then you as a trader, you're at this region here, you're thinking, right, AUD is a fucking million times stronger than CAD. Even though it's got a little bit of rough stuff going on, it's a million times stronger than CAD. What are we looking for? This might not give a liquidity grab here. It might just fuck off from this position, and then you've missed the trade, you know, and then you're going to have to enter it again up here at a pullback, but you could have a much better price down here, and so on, right? So you've got all of this going through your mind as a trader, not just you, even me when I sit here every fucking day. It's always going through your mind, right? So, excuse my address, I'm not a gypsy, I'm just back for the gym. So your options are stuff that you can wait for this to come up here, break above. See this here, small candle, large engulfing. You could take an aggressive. I'm going to start again, right? Fuck this. You've got the small candle here, small candle, large engulfing, right? So you've got the chance. You could take an aggressive entry. You could enter here at the rejection and put your stop loss down here, become part of liquidity. You could enter the trade here with a smaller lot size and have a fucking massive stop loss down here, but I wouldn't do it because you're not going to get unless you've got a huge account, it's not going to be worth your while. You could then wait for it to come up, boom, boom, re-enter here, gives you a little bit of a kind of, oh, okay, it's kind of doing something now. Or the safer trade actually is when it goes like that. Breaks above here, comes back down, retests, rejects this, and then goes, right? That's your safer trade there. That's the safer. This is the riskier. You can take either or. It really doesn't matter. And then at this point, of course, if you're here, your stop loss is going to be down here, and you are in the region of the liquidity zone. However, it's going to be fucking taken off by then, right? So there's multiple choices. There's no right and wrong. It's just a kind of process of elimination. You're tying in your entries with things like, okay, it's a great area of value. Is it a liquidity grab already been? Yes or no? If it hasn't, then what does that mean? It means there's a potential, not a high potential or low potential, but there is a potential for it to come up, fucking come back down, grab a bunch of liquidity, and then go, right? There's a potential for that because we haven't had it yet, right? And there's a ton of liquidity here, and they need liquidity to move the fucking market. So there's a huge potential for that. And these are all the things that are going through your mind. So, excuse me. You just have to make a decision. I wouldn't take that yet. What's this? What are we on here? Hold on. AUD And see if you're ever like this on the charts, right? And you're like, you can't really see anything here because it's a bit flat, right? If in doubt, zoom out, right? It's a great little saying. If in doubt, zoom out. If you're ever in doubt of the markets and you want a bigger look, just fucking zoom out. And you'll be like, okay, confirmed, that pair is just wank. So you just fucking move on. I know these are huge areas here. It's because I mark these up in like the weekly time frame or the daily time frame sometimes. So just, you know what I mean? That'll be the weekly. Let me just see. Is that a weekly high? Yes, it is. Look, there's a small candle, large engulfing. Right, I'll just... That's the weekly. See, small candle, large engulfing. That's why I've marked up. So it's in a weekly time frame. All right, and then some of them will be in different time frames. So lower ones. You can see this here. Look, previous resistance. Also, small candle, large engulfing. Once broken, becomes the area for the retest and the area of support. Boom, and fucking away it goes. And you will see this happen so many times, guys. So many fucking times. It doesn't really matter what time frame you're on. Whether it's the hourly, weekly, blah, 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 whatever. Here's a prime example. So here's the base, right? Look, a base is basically where is it the market hits more often than not, right? So look, it's like base. It comes back for the retest here, breaks above, goes back for the retest, and that's when it goes. Boom. Liquidity grab, back in, away it goes. Boom. Comes down to the base, the baseline. Liquidity grab, back in, and away it goes, right? baseline, liquidity grab, straight back in, and away it goes, right? So this is the way you can look for these things. There it is again. Here's your main base. Here's your base here. Baseline here, baseline here, baseline here, baseline here, 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 here. You see how that's the main baseline? That's the main area of value. So I don't know why I keep saying baseline because it's not a term I normally use. It's the main area of value. You've got a big fucking liquidity grab, and it comes back in, and then it respects this area of value. Why does it not go up here? Because it's already taken all the liquidity from up there. There's fuck all left, unless people start putting their stop losses again up here, just above the previous highs. And then it comes up, has a wee nib, and away it goes. Yeah, but I mean, look. Shite. Nothing there. EuroCAD, really nothing there, guys. You know, it is fucking boring. This has probably been the most boring year for me, I swear to God. And look, there's July 2024. It hasn't done fuck all since July 2024. Do you know what I mean? That's been a good one. I was waiting for a little bit of a deeper pullback, never got it. It just came here and went. I was expecting it to come here, go, break away, and then go, which it didn't do that. So, you know, there you go. But look, previous small candle, large engulfing, breaks away. Now, you'd expect it to come back, retest that, and reject. When it breaks through that area, it will come back. The previous resistance will become the new support. Enter your buys, and away you go. Same again, look. Previous high, breaks above, comes back, and it perfectly retests that zone. Boom, and away it goes. But, I mean, it's shit, you know. This has been a really fucking slow year. The PAM's done all right last month. It's done quite good. Last month been up a couple of points, but that's really been fucking two moderate swing trades, and the rest just scalping gold for little scalps. It's not been made up of my predominant way of trading. Look at this. It's just a fucking mess, guys. You could potentially enter a buy from here, but would you bother? There's honestly no. There we go. Look, boom, fucking beautiful. Away it goes. GBP. It's just nothing, guys. I'm going to show you USD CAD in just one moment because it's a trade that I did give. You could take this again, but again, look, it's NZD and Japanese yen. Both of them are weak economies. Look, and that's what you get when both economies are weak. You need one to be strong and one to be weak for it to go well. Look, this is a difference. Look. Weak economy, boom, 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 boom. You know, sorry, what I meant is weak economy against the weak economy. It doesn't do fuck all. It just pinballs back and forward. Weak economy against a strong economy. Boom, 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 boom. You see what I'm saying? We know that the USD was strong. We know that the NZD was weak. Basically, you can go back for the last fucking every week for the last couple of months and watch my fundamental reviews. USD strong, NZD weak. What are you then looking for? You're then looking for sells. And here's all the areas that we've marked up. And I'm pretty sure Andreas in our group has taken this trade fucking from here. He's taken it again from here. I'm sure he took it again from here, and I'm sure he even took it again at this pullback here, taking it down, you know. He's done fucking fantastic from these markups. So well done, mate. But that's it. You know how simple it is when you tie up. It's not a lot of people, if they go into fundamentals, they'll be like, well, technicals are a lot of shit. Or if you're a technical trader, you'll be like, fundamentals are a lot of shit. They're all essential, in my opinion. But they've all got their place. I was purely technical for years. And yeah, after I learned the fundamentals, I was just like, I can't believe I wasted so much time not learning these, because I just thought, well, I'm making money. I don't need it. You know, that was my attitude. I'm making plenty of money without them, so why the fuck do I have to learn it? But it does make a huge difference when you learn it, because you're not like, well, maybe it's going to go down. Maybe it's going to reject here and go up. You know, that might be your previous thoughts. It's going to reject here and go up, so you enter buys. I now know when I see this here, because I follow fundamentals, I ain't looking for buys. Why? Because the USD is strong and the NZD is weak as fuck. So I now know that I don't get trapped in this. So I'm avoiding losing trades by knowing fundamentals, because I know that even though this is above the 200 EMA and higher time frame and blah blah blah, and it's shown bullishness, I know I ain't looking for buys. I'm looking for fucking sells. You know what I mean? So it does really help. It's extremely beneficial. USD CAD, here's the one that we entered, and this is good. This is one that I really want to point out. We could have held this for far longer. However, look, we entered here. It went up to here, and I just refused because it could have came back there, which it did. Look, it did. So look, it would have been back at essentially break even point. One. Yeah, look, 1, 2, 3 times. So just one of my rules is I don't let winning trades go back. Pardon me. I don't let winning trades go back to fucking being in negatives again. I very quickly moved to break even. Now you can see with this red arrow here, this is where I closed it. This, of course, is not a real account. This is on the paper trading account. However, those of you in the Discord will know that I did take the trade because I posted it my live from. I traded it in like 5 different fucking platforms, and I posted them. But or I done lives, whatever, when they were still active. But anyway, look, just to show you, if you had just kept the stop losses below the previous low, right? So if we'd entered here, this was our initial entry, this was our initial stop loss. Now, if we had kept the stop loss here, look, it would have bounced around, ranged around, and it would have fucking kept going. Boom, came back up, and I'd already drawn this in. Look, breaks above, comes back in for the retest, and away it goes. And it's exactly that. Broke above, come back for the retest, and away it went. So it's came in each time. Now let's go to the weekly. Is it the week? Yeah, the weekly time frame. Just to count, right? I want to show you how long we held the trade for, and how long we could have held the trade for. You know, if we didn't move our stops to break even. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. We held it for 5 weeks, right? And we could have held it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We could have potentially held it for 17 weeks and just fucking let it go. Just as an eye opener, right? It's quite a good thing to do in our journals, is to add in how long we held the trade, and then later on coming back and being like, okay, when the trade finished overall, you know, when it starts going back down the way, how long could I have held it for? And it's quite a good eye opener, especially for swing trades. It's not really necessary at all for what do you call it, scalps, all right? But for swing trades, it is very valuable information. See, look, previous support once broken becomes a new resistance. Bang. You know, it happens all the time. It's a really good strategy, that one. Same again. Previous resistance once broken becomes a new support, and away it goes. But yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. There's nothing else I'll be taking today. In my opinion, oil. There's another one with oil. Look, I took oil. I took the sell bang on from here, and I closed it here when it was about to pull back, and then look, pulled back, just fucking away it went. But you don't know that, right? It's always good to take your money. You're always going to leave money on the table, right? So don't fucking worry about, oh my god, I could have made so much more. You're always going to leave money on the table. But it is good to look back over your trades. It was another one I took here. Entered the sell here, closed it out here. Maybe just a scalp. This, again, is on paper trades, but I have been taking it on pretty much all of my accounts. I've got like 5 trading accounts. I've taken it on pretty much all of them. I'm not touching anything else today. I mean, you could see that looks good for sales, but there's no way on this earth I would be entering a sell straight in to an area of rejection. And then you've got fucking here, you've got here, you've got here, you've got here, here. You know, I just wouldn't be taking a sell into that. It would either have to break through, come back, retest, reject, and then go, or it would need to pull back up, retest, reject here, and then drop. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to come on and show you those little golden nuggets, because I realised when I was going through it myself, I thought, you know what, I don't think I've ever told the guys about this. When I'm looking at a good area of value and it's bouncing around, I'll go back up and show you just as a refresher. Is it here? Aye. When I'm looking at these areas here, area of value, right, this is an area of entry. You know, what haven't we seen? I'm not just looking for what we can see. So what we can see is area of value, fucking it's holding that area, blah 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 blah. What can't we see? Well, we can't see a liquidity grab. So what does that mean? That means there's potentially a huge fucking amount of liquidity around about here, a huge amount. And if we go to the daily time frame, that is exactly in small candle, large engulfing, area of volume. How do we know that? Because that's where the volume kicked in. The market fucking flies there, so it's an area of volume. Comes back down, reaches this base, never gives you a liquidity grab. Potential for a huge amount of liquidity around here. So what would I really be looking for? I'd really be looking for either this, bish, bash, bosh, enter here, and away we go. Right? Just going to make it green because it's annoying me being red. Or potential looking for bang, liquidity grab, straight back into the zone, boom, 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 and away it goes. Right. With your stop loss, of course, being down here below the previous low. All right, lads. Anyway, it looks like you've had a good week. My sister is now away back home, so I can put my full time back into not just trading, but all my work as well. I mean, I was still doing it when she was here, to be honest, but I just wasn't able to work at the level that I like to work at each day and cover different types of shit. Only because, you know, it's not often I get to see my sister. She was here for a month, and I wanted to spend time with her. So yeah, hope you've had a great week, guys. I've been following it along in the group, even though I don't speak all fucking day in the group. I do monitor it and watch it, and most of the time I am just sat here. As always, guys, if any of you want any fucking lives, one-to-ones where you and I go through stuff like this together, how do you know to enter here? Well, how did you know to put your stop loss here? Where do I know to put my fucking take profit, blah, blah, blah? If any of you ever want to cover this type of stuff with me, I am always here, and I cover it. Like I said in a previous comment when everyone was fucking chopping off, I only stopped doing it daily because no cunt was turning up to the lives. And at the same time when you guys were telling Lee, oh, you should start doing lives in the morning, that's the exact time I was doing lives. I was doing it at the same time as Lee. And then when I moved, the reason why I changed the timings to the ones in the afternoon and I started doing it at New York Open is because when I previously done it at London Open, no cunt fucking turned up. So that was why I changed it. And then when nobody turned up to both London and nobody turned up to fucking New York, that was why I can doing them. But I'm always here because it's just a fucking waste of time, right? However, I am always here pretty much every single fucking day in front of the computer. And if any of you guys ever want it, just reach out to me and I will gladly jump on here. I don't care if I spend 30 minutes with you. I don't care if I spend 4 hours with you. It doesn't matter to me. I'm here to help you all the fucking time, right? If you just simply reach out and ask for it, I will help you. So yeah, have a great weekend, boys. I'll see you soon. Take care.